Greetings, guys. This is BlazRich. Hope you guys are all doing well. Most of this video, yeah, there's a little touch of solo PvP, mostly in low sec, but most of this site is going to consist of the new Garista Hunt events. And basically, like, what kind of loot we get and how difficult they are. They are relatively difficult. I was running them in the store, and they seem to be easy enough to do in that, but a bit spicy. This was the first fight of the morning, I believe. I was getting 3 Rifters against my Rifter. I sort of knew going into this that these guys weren't going to be... They were newer pilots, so it was a bit fairer myself going up against 3 of these Rifters. Yeah, cause like they're mostly... The first one seemed like a better fit. Used a lot of DPS, but the 2 ones afterwards seemed to just like get nuked. So it was still a nice little fight. My cap's getting a bit low, but I still have a lot of tank there. I was sweating a little bit, but we ended up taking it. So GF to those 3 Rifters. Okay, here's a cool 1v1 against Snake here. I looked at his ship first, see what kind of guns he had. He had blasters. So what I really want to do is keep 8.5k. I do end up taking keep that to 10k because I've got faction missile loaded, and with the rig that extends our missile range, I can hit to 12k with those faction missiles. So I'm thinking if I keep to 10k, that'll keep us completely out of Visa blaster range. Because even at 8.5k with null loaded, it does have a 7.5k range null, but I should get occasional grazing hit. I think at 8.5k. That on top of the 3 drones is a bit rough, so that's why I pull it to 10k, and you'll see how close this fight does end up being. But we do end up taking it, so GF there, Snake. Okay, now onto these events. If you want to participate, you'll need to kill capsules that you'll see in D-scan. To do so, you need to change your overview settings. Make sure a regular capsule is on it. So it'll set to default off for me once the event started. So once you have that sorted, you're going to just like jet around systems. D-scan, look for these mysterious capsules. It'll be different colors. The colors don't really matter all that much. I don't think they drop any different loot or whatever. But yeah, then you D-scan them. I thought you'd need to initially scan these down, but you can just D-scan them. They'll be mostly on like planets, asteroid belts, these kind of things. So kill it, and just loot it. There won't be any NPCs accompanying this guy, or he won't shoot back, so don't expect any TPS or whatever. So once you kill him, get your key. Okay, I actually really love events like this that introduce new combat sites that like require like smart things to do them, like destroyers and stuff, which is amazing. These new sites are basically locked to command destroyer down. You can't use tactical destroyers in these sites, but I believe you can use interdictors, command destroyers, AFs, frigates, regular destroyers, these kind of things, but not tactical destroyers. Unfortunately, I tried to get my jacked on here and it wasn't having it, but this is the easier site. I'll also show you the harder site, which can be a bit spicy. These easier sites are quite easy to do. And yeah, I think they spawn everywhere, but the harder sites are only going to spawn in Kaldare space and Garista space, I believe. That's where the good loot comes from. I was getting okay-ish drops from these, but nothing too crazy. You might see like carry and stuff like this, but they aren't going to do real DPS as to like a player version, so don't worry about that. And although these guys are Garistas, they aren't just going to do... I believe Garistas do kinetic thermal damage usually, but there's also a bit of EM damage, there's a bit of everything in these sites. I'm not sure about explosive, but I know for sure there's at least some EM in there, so just be wary of this. This Stork was more than easily handling these the easier sites, so don't worry about... Like an AF should be able to handle these quite easy. I think a T1 destroyer might struggle a little bit. You'll need to have an active tank, I think, or maybe Kaidi. Most of the frigates and stuff seem to be really fast, but the ones that you really want to watch out for, the Condors and the Worms, those dudes newt. It's quite rough for an active tank. It's not too crazy in these easier sites. Once we get to the harder site, you'll see they come in mass, and there's a lot of Newton pressure. It's quite rough. There's also, they can be like Bantans, ECM dudes, but the ECM doesn't seem all that powerful. They will occasionally get the like an occasional jam, but nothing too crazy. You see, I'm also looting wrecks to see if they drop any like pyro or agency drugs in those wrecks, but I didn't seem to find any. I didn't try too many other sites. So this is the last boss, and he does actually quite a lot more DPS than what the all our NPCs were doing. He nukes webs and stuff, but yeah, that's the loot we get. Sweet, those Garista skins are so cool looking, and it seems to be dropping OPEs, overseer personal effects, to varying price ranges. So I'll also show you the rest of the loot I got from the easier sites, and then we'll move on to the harder site. So yeah, there's some real big ticket items I can drop from these sites. Done by the easier sites. I think some like that's 1% increases drone and fighter hit points. There's also one for speed, and I believe like drone rip. The speed one's going to go for, I think the like HP and the what's called the speed one is going to be a mint, especially if you get a 5% one, because like, dude, the Ratters are going to use those 5% for whatever. They're going to be so expensive, man, I think. So if you get a couple of those, hold on to them or sell them for a high price. I have a feeling they're going to be going for a lot of money there. Another really nice skin there. Activate that straight away. I'm keen for these Garissa skins. But yeah, and then once you get onto the harder sites, the loot's even more crazy potentially. Those like Hydra, if you get like a high grade Hydra BPC drop, it's gonna be there's so much loot potential in these sites, is amazing. I don't get too much crazy loot. That's not really good OPE there. The ANC boosters are dropping from these the last NPCs, which isn't too crazy. A jacket drops here. And those Corico modified drone whatever that I see there, some material used for the Gecko BPCs that I believe are dropping in the harder tier sites. I didn't get into the Gecko BPCs to drop, but it's good to know that BPCs are back in circulation. Sorry if you've invested in Geckos, because I think they've already started to plummet. So, yeah, that's rough for the Gecko investors. Sorry, Michael. But, yeah, got a nice sweet little jacket here. It's very cool, you know. A jacket is just a jacket. So, yeah, let's move on to the harder side. So yeah, this is a harder site. These can actually be quite spooky. You know, there's just a couple more cruiser spawns in this site. There could be a potential for a lot of frigates, especially the nuding ones. Then if the ECM's in there as well, it can be a bit of a hassle. I am with a friend here, but I'm able to do like all this site solo. He does pop into the site, but then he leaves. Allows me to do the site solo, which is good, just to show you that I can do these sites solo. But then just being aware, like have a good tank. These dudes scram, web, point. You know, like. Just be careful, right? Make sure you're timed properly for these sites. The only downside with this Storkfit is it's not doing the most DPS. I think I'm actually going to try, what do you call it, a flycatcher. You can actually get quite a lot of DPS on a flycatcher, and the tank can probably be similar to the Stork. So I think that might actually be the better call to do these sites in. At least if you want to go to Kildare Waits. You see that spawn's pretty spooky. I really want to get those condors off the grid, you know, get those newts off me. Worms, maybe kill that griffin, these kind of things. You notice I'm tanking complete thing here though. Nothing too crazy, it's just the newts are sort of scaring me a little bit. Just be aware also, like Kildare, these hard sites always spawn, I said in Kildare space, but I believe it's only in low sec, not high sec. I could be wrong there, but I'm fairly certain it's only low sec. And just be careful, by the way, with the event that people get loot from implants that drop from capsules. There's smart bomb gate camps everywhere, mate. So just be careful when you're traveling, especially in something like this Stork or something small, right? Because it's very weak to what's called a smart bomb gate camp. So just be careful. Use safe traveling practices. You know, maybe if you're able, have a friend scout you. Use C-kill. Just watch yourself, man. It's a very rough time at the moment. I guess some people are making a lot of money off smart bombing the pods, which I think this event is a fantastic, man. I feel like yeah, more risk to implants is great. People can make money off them. Beautiful. CCP's done wonderful work with this event, and I hope to see more events in the future similar to this. You know, a little bit of challenge PvE wise, and there's PvP that can spawn off it. So you'll see in the next little clip again, nice little fight. And these, and we are also occasionally hunting the dudes who are running these. Fortunately, we didn't get anyone, but there's a lot of people running these. We just couldn't catch them before to finish the sites. So yeah, that's why I initially was using my Stork with, instead of the Scram, EM resistance, just for more tank. But I figured since I was tanking these thing, I just put a Scram in there to potentially get a little bit PvP on the side. And that's what I probably love the most about when I can do PvE and get a bit of PvP on the side, so I'm making ISK while still getting PvP. That's amazing. I like when this happens. It usually really happens when these events spawn. They're just great content drivers. So yeah, very pleased with this event. Nothing really much else I can say about what to expect from these sites. Just know that it's going to be a lot of people hunting you. These harder sites have a lot of frigate spawn. There's a lot of stuff that you can do these sites in. Probably command destroyers, or probably going to be the go-to Maguses. What do you call it? Draugr, my friend was using. He seemed to be just like melting stuff. And The T2 Dragoon's also going to do quite well. Now, imagine the T2 Talwar. I totally forgot their names. The Stork seem to do well, albeit being a little slow in the DPS side of things. But tanks side, no problem. Especially when we're working down like cruisers like this, it can be a bit. It can take some time. But yeah, the potential. This is the last boss. This is same. I think it's the exact same boss as the easier sites, but he also has free cruise missile batteries. So just keep your speed up. Because if you are at 0 meters a second or whatever, you just aren't fast. Those cruises will probably apply quite well to you. Do a lot of DPS use. So just keep your speed up, especially when you're going for the loot here. This is what we get. I get 1%, which isn't too great implant. 3 of those mad Corco modified thingies, a wee OP, and then some boots. So not too bad from this site. But yeah, I'll also show you the loot that I got from the hard sites also. So yeah, I was looking at this site and I was pleasantly surprised to see 2 core axes running. I didn't think these guys would be able to survive this site because the crazy NPCs that spawned, but it seems like they were. I was very surprised, especially looking at their fits afterwards. That's just super sweet. They're getting a little fight here, being able to steal their site. But they're good sports by the put GFs in local, which is a really good attitude to have. So, yeah, good fight to you guys, boys. I guess the NPCs were locking this guy down, because I think if they weren't, you would have probably warped out. Which is nice. Keep that in mind when you're doing these sites and when you're hunting. People in these sites are mostly going to be locked down by the NPCs. Or if you're one who doesn't want to be hunted, or you're not keen on PvP, you best probably want to primary the long points and scram so you can warp off if need. Or, like my Stork has an MGD. I could just primary scrams, and then even if I'm long point, I can just MGD out if that's something you want to do if you're in a command destroyer. So I got a really nice drop from this. BPC, OPEs, one of those weird bliss controls that affects drones and missiles. That's a poor one, that's the A type. I think it's the X type one that's worth a good bit. I think it's like 100 mil. They've probably fallen, no, but I can see them still being worth quite a bit. So this second site drops okay-ish loot, nothing too crazy. A nice OPE there, 63 mil. Estimate that's probably just the OPEs there, maybe the agency booster there, but a jacket there also. For this last site, really nice drop, 127 mil, nice Overseer's personal effect. I think one of them was worth 80 mil. And our ballistic controls, some boots, and oh, that pyro, that's a Dosri Pyrolancy, I believe, so that's why I'm also getting a nice little estimate there. So you can get a really nice X per hour from these sites. Again, it's all RNG based, but you really want those Gecko BPCs and the Hydra BPCs. That's where the good money's going to come in. And the implants, the like 5% to drone speed and all this. Yeah, I think that's me covered about everything of these sites. They are a little bit spooky, so do be, you know, prepared going into these sites. We did do a bunch of other sites too. You didn't see some loot that Moffy went in to get. I believe we got another 2 like Hydra BPCs, which you split. And then some other like miscellaneous stuff like parallel skins and these kind of things. These sites do drop quite nice, and it seems to be semi-frequent for the BPCs. I think we're getting 1 BPC every 2 to 3 sites. So they are dropping fairly regularly, the implants and stuff. So these are really good esque, I feel. Especially if you hold on to these implants going by previous sites, right? I can remember that, I think it's like 5% drone damage implant that was from a previous site. I sold them at 800 mil, and I think I was buying them or hoarded them at like 300 mil. They're up to like, I think they're up to like 4 bill just now. So just like keep things like that in mind. I think like that 5% to fighter EHB and the speed one, they'll probably go up like that's extortionate price. I can just see it now because super pilots are usually pretty loaded. It just depends on how many are going to flood the market. We can only wait and see, but going by, like, I don't know, I think they're going to like go up extortionately. But still hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions about these sites, I should have really meant or put my fit up. Going off my head, on the rigs we have a T2 damage rig, EM rig, DCU, ballistic control, MGD. I believe that's a T2 AB, PIF C type shield booster, adaptive, T2 burst thingy with that increases shield reps. I think that's a compact scram, and I believe a T2 cap injector. So nothing too crazy there, but that's generally the fit. Yeah. Okay, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, guys. Yeah, do take care, man. Do stay safe in this peculiar time also.